Alright, let's talk about some fish in the news. Did you guys know that sometimes things happen and they involve fish and they make the news? And then I sit here at my computer and I Google fish, and then I click the little filter on Google to change it to news. And then I look at what has happened in the world of fish in the most recent times. And that is on today's Fish in the News. Our first story coming in, Fish in the News. Yes, Barbara, I'm getting a signal. I'm getting word that a tanker has crashed and accidentally released 70,000 salmon into the wrong river in Oregon. This is so funny. To do it into the wrong river. For them to get released at all is like, okay, the tanker crashes on the side of the road and all the fish die. You know, whatever. Catastrophic event, it happens. For the tanker to somehow crash into a different river and all the salmon end up in a different river is really funny. It's like a accidental science experiment. What are the chances this was some crazy scientist who's like, no, they could survive in this river? Oh, it doesn't look very good, does it? I was gonna say, maybe someone thought that they could survive in the river. Oh, well, these are the ones who didn't make it into the river. Okay. There's still hope for the survivors. That's how we get invasive species? Well, it was salmon and it was from one river in Oregon to another, so... Theoretically, this is not an invasive species moment. This is just a they're probably all gonna die moment. When you say wrong river, is the river named the wrong river, or did they mean to put it in another river? They meant to put it into another river. Otherwise, it would say wrong river, but it says wrong Oregon River. I bet they worded it that way on purpose. Put 70,000 salmon into the wrong river. It'd be really funny if there was a river called the wrong river. That's just after the what river. What river did you catch the fish in? What river? Where river? Where's the river? Where the river? It's hard when every word is capitalized. Yeah, I don't know why news articles do that. After colliding with the side of the road, the tanker split open, leaking its contents, terrible turn of phrase, onto a riverbank next to the road. Spilled an estimated 77,000 salmon smolts into the creek which runs along the side of the road. That's about 20% of what they were trying to release in the other river. Dude, 1/5 of that river's... Oh, man. Oh, well. Oh. This is the creek right by the hatchery. They didn't get very far. They have a hatchery on this creek, and they were trying to bring them to a different river. So basically... Basically, they spent years and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars building a hatchery, taking fish out of the river, raising them in captivity, and being like, all right, boys, today's the day we go and we bring them and we restock those rivers and we replenish the salmon populations in the state of California or the state of Oregon. And then they crashed 2 minutes into the drive and released them into the stream right next to the hatchery that they worked at. However, the fish instead found a home in Looking Glass Creek, where experts predict they'll return to breed each year, improving fish population in that river instead. This is literally the developer. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Yeah, after looking into it, we think that they're going to successfully breed and return each year and improve the fish population in this river. Was the driver on something to crash that close? It's a great question. It just says after colliding with the side of the road. How does one collide with the side of the road? It didn't hit another car. It didn't hit anything, presumably. It just spontaneously flipped over. Isn't the road like on the ground? I mean, I guess there is like a hill on the side here. The road just jumped out at me, man. This is like my new tweet. Have you guys seen my new tweet? I'll say it since everyone else is afraid to. Staying in the lines while you drive is really hard. That's what this guy was thinking. I should quote tweet this with this article. This fucking salmon driver. I'll say it since everyone else is afraid to. Staying in the lines while you drive is really hard. Bro swerved into a cliff and then flipped upside down. That's incredible. He wasn't hurt, by the way. It says he was not injured, seriously, so we're allowed to laugh at it. We're good. My theory as to what happened, deer. I feel like it would say deer. It doesn't say they swerved. It says after colliding. In the crash, the 53-foot truck rolled onto the passenger side, skidded across the pavement, and flipped onto its roof after hitting a rocky embankment. No, man. Bro just crashed into the side of the road. There's no better explanation here. God took the wheel and God said he wants more salmon in this damn river. Rocky embankment? Yeah, I guess the side of the road here. I don't know. What's next on Fish in the News? Oregon man charged for breaking into hatchery, killing 18,000 salmon smolts with bleach. Jeez. The salmonids are not having a good week here. Between the dumping in the wrong river and somebody dumping bleach into the... That's crazy. Gardner man was arrested on Tuesday for allegedly breaking into a fish hatchery and killing 18,000 smolts with a bottle of bleach. He was charged with second-degree burglary, criminal trespass, and criminal mischief. $13 million in fines. It's a real blow. Someone had forcibly made entry into the hatchery building, police said. Once inside, the suspect poured a chemical substance into one of the rearing ponds, causing the death of 18,000 salmon. Deputies processed the scene and began conducting a follow-up investigation. On Tuesday, a deputy patrolling the area observed a man walking south along U.S. Highway 101. Short time later, the deputy who had walked into the hatchery observed that the same man behind the locked gate and no trespassing signs. He was contacted and interviewed by the deputy and admitted to trespassing on the property and entering a storage location and handling the bottle of bleach. He was shaking, sweating, and at one point threw up during the interview. What is this dude on? He reported having trouble remembering details of the crime due to being high on marijuana. You ever get so high instead of the munchies, you just go find a bottle of bleach and pour it into rearing ponds? Hackthorne told me he remembered removing the jug of bleach from the shed and setting it on the concrete support of the rearing pond, but did not remember if he dumped it in or not. How do you not remember? What else would you have done? There's no understanding of motivation. Like, the guy didn't have something specifically against salmon. What? Just a bad trip on weed? He had such a bad trip on weed that he broke into a hatchery and dumped a bunch of bleach. Weed strains are getting crazy. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't smoke. Must have been laced. I think you guys are underestimating. Wait, these both happened in Oregon. What's going on with Oregon, bro? Oregon salmon populations are done for. I'll bet the truck didn't crash on its own then. It was probably this guy. This guy probably did some, like, hitman thing and knocked out their truck driver and then got in the truck and pretended to be the hatchery driver and then swerved into the embankment and crashed into the river. That's episode 1 of Fish in the News.